Climate change has not really been part of the national election discourse. Some politicians dismiss it. It gets mentioned occasionally. And a lot of pollsters would say Americans don't vote on the environment. They vote on pocketbook issues. They may be concerned about climate, but Katrina Peters, people don't vote on it.
Well, they don't vote on it because I don't think they understand it. And if you just discuss everything in terms of climate change, then a lot of people will automatically think they know what you're talking about. I think if you are able to reframe the argument or discussion to talk about not just the climate, but the personal impacts. People's health is personal. So if you know that your family is going to be impacted, that your grandmother, who used to be able to live in her apartment without air conditioning and has a number of different illnesses, that by going up a few more degrees, there being more pollen in the air, other things, that she's going to be going to the hospital more, and you're going to have to be the one to take off work to take her to the emergency room when your child has asthma attacks every day. And you're not sure how you can correct those things, then it becomes a very personal discussion. And once people understand that part of the solution is not just taking care of the individual illness by going to the doctor and taking medication, that there are other environmental things that they have to attend to, then I think people may be willing to vote for something different.
That happened in the case of tobacco, where tobacco was viewed as sort of personal choice, et cetera. But once secondhand smoke, side stream smoke came into it, and it affected the bartenders and restaurant workers, et cetera, then Linda Rudolph, the whole thing changed because it became much more of a public health issue where it had been, personal choice issue.
Well, the other thing that happened that really helped people understand what was going on with tobacco was that people learned that the tobacco industry had been deceiving the public and lying to Congress over many years, really to try and confuse people about whether or not tobacco was a health hazard. And we're seeing exactly the same thing with the fossil fuel industry, which it turns out has known about climate change for decades and has willfully misled the public to sow doubt about climate science and minimize the impacts of burning fossil fuels. So I think it's also important, just as people didn't like being lied to by the tobacco industry, people won't like learning that the fossil fuel industry has been lying to them as well.